Cody is undergoing intensive treatment. The aim, to change his behavior. The prize, to save him from his potentially criminal self.
If you help them just check off each day.
Brina Satterfield's methods are controversial. She has no fears about using science to diagnose children at risk. The first step in a 2-year process is to convince the parents that their children are damaged by a brain disorder and need help rather than punishment.
Remember that ADD kids do not have a good sense of time. Whether it's a week or a month or 5 minutes, they don't have a very good conceptual, internalized idea of how long that is.
It's hard to not look at him and say, he's just misbehaving. He's doing this on purpose. And realize that he has something wrong with him and not, it's really hard to, because he gets to where he drives you nuts and it's not his fault. There's something wrong in the brain.
Brina mapped out that there are brain transmitters, and when the transmitter signals don't connect, there's a disorder. Her stealing wasn't her stealing, it was part of this disorder. It made it so much more easier to look at it that way.
The next stage is to teach the parents how to cope with these apparent children from hell.
One of the immediate problems is that parents are very reactive to what their children's behavior is or fails to be, and so they're constantly chastising their children, and a lot of anger develops.
I truly hated my child. I hated Lauren. I mean, my whole life was turned upside down around this child. I mean, here, the guilt a mother has on feeling hatred towards a child, their own child. Brina made me look at this as a handicap. You wouldn't yell at a retarded child. You wouldn't go smack a retarded child. You know, you just can't. And you have to step back and you have to go, they are incapable of controlling their behavior. They are incapable.
You're a star, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm the star.
The other part of the treatment is chemical.
Come here, you need to take your pills.
Ritalin is a brain stimulant. You'd think the last thing a hyperactive child needs is stimulation, but it's the underactive brain which needs a kickstart to activate the frontal cortex and help him concentrate.
And then I give him his medicine, and about a half hour later he starts to calm down. Cody wouldn't be able to even go to school. He gets so excited and stuff, there's no way he could settle down enough for a teacher to teach him. Without the medicines, he's that out of control. With the medication and with everything we've been doing with him, he's calm enough where he can go to school, he gets good grades, and they haven't really noticed too much of a problem.
You're on the other team. Okay, I got it though. Cody, I got it.
But the studies show that drugs alone are no magic bullet for delinquency. Brina reckons a child like Cody will need 2 to 3 years of help before he begins to feel and act like other children.
I'm gonna kick out. Good. Really? No, but then because I don't want to. I don't think basketball is help. I'm gonna do something.
The drugs help Cody concentrate on the learning. It'll take a long time to translate this into being a more considerate and tender child.
I think you like to throw things, right, when you get mad?
Only sometimes I do that when I get mad.
Did you get mad at that cat when you were throwing wood at the cat? Were you mad at the cat for something?
He didn't do nothing to me.
Well, why did you throw the wood at the cat and kill the cat?
I don't know why.
You don't know why? I wonder if you were mad about something at that time. Were you mad at somebody else or about something else?
I wasn't mad at somebody. I don't know why I hit the cat.
A child such as this doesn't have the same set of feelings that you or I would have when we hurt another person. He doesn't have the sense of shock or horror at what that means. And then what happened?
And on the way home, I threw rocks at him.
You threw rocks at him?
Yeah. And after that, my dad called me.
Okay, but did you ever think of saying, Kevin, that's making me really angry and I don't want to be your friend if you're going to treat me that way?
Hey, Jimmy, let me use it, please.
Hopefully, treatment will help him to understand how others feel when he hurts them.
Good behavior in the living room. Top out of 50.
Okay, well here, take your chips.
Okay.
How many do you get for eating all your breakfast?
3.
3?
A further layer to Cody's intensive treatment is less sophisticated: bribery. The parents are asked to operate a reward system.
Look at how many chips you get. Come here. Okay, what did you get for study time?
Everything.
You think you did good?
3.
3? You know what?
What?
I think you did so good.
Yeah.
I think you did super good. I give you 5.
Wow.
That was the best study time you've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little plastic chips are given to the child for specific good behavior. The child can then cash in these chips for the pleasure of watching television, going to play with a friend or whatever. It's a juvenile capitalism whereby the child sells not his labor, but his behavior, and the whole family profits.
You'd be surprised what a little piece of plastic does. He really is motivated to earn those. Otherwise, he doesn't get to do anything. And so he works really hard trying to get them. It's bribery, but it works.
Lauren's family have completed 3 years of the Satterfield treatment. She still needs stimulants to help her concentrate, but the mix of therapies have changed her behavior. And Francine is no longer afraid of her daughter.
Thank God I don't have that fear anymore. Lauren's not that child anymore. She has guilt now. She has a little fear. She has a conscience. She feels sensitive towards other people's pain. She's the first one over to a child who's hurt themselves in school. This is not the child that was 5 years ago who couldn't care less about anybody or anything.
Yes, everybody.
Brain abnormalities such as Lauren's can strike in the ghettos as they can in middle-class suburbia. The difference is a privileged family can afford to invest the money and the time in treatment. Other children who completed the Satterfield course are now law-abiding adults.
In our multimodality intervention study, we found that we could reduce the criminal arrest rate by about 50%. And this is a cost-effective treatment.
A year's treatment costs £2,000. A year in a juvenile detention centre like this one costs £17,000. A life of crime for one repeat offender can cost the taxpayer more than £1 million. But there's no complete guarantee of success.
The ethical dilemma is this. As a parent, what do? Do you risk putting your child into these intervention programs and risk labeling your child as a future violent offender, even though your child has committed no violent crimes right now? That's one side of the scenario. The other side is if you ignore that possibility and don't put your child into intervention programs, there's an 80% chance that he will become a violent criminal offender. And he'll not only destroy his own life, he'll destroy your life, the lives of his brothers and sisters, and more importantly, the lives of innocent victims of his violent crimes.
Danny is too old for the Satterfield treatment. But is it too late to correct the biology that makes him a wrecker? After release from detention, Danny's parents, in desperation, tried a new, untested method to correct abnormal brain patterns. It's called biofeedback.
My behavior was so bad in the past that we didn't think that we could change it, and we didn't think there was anything that can change it. And when I started, I mean, we just tried it out basically just to see if it would help at all.
The first stage was clinically to assess whether or not Danny had the classic abnormal brain pattern.
The evaluation of EEG showed us a predominant theta activity, that means low arousal. And low arousal is bound to conduct disorder. He had incredible conduct disorder, such as using drugs and selling drugs, stealing cars, threatening the family members, sometimes even becoming violent in the family.
The scientific evidence is that under the right conditions, we can retrain our own brains to change our own arousal levels.
And I'd like you now to look in front of you and focus on Pac-Man. Be as relaxed as you can be. That's very good. Just be very, very relaxed.
Biofeedback sounds like fringe science. It involves, in this case, a simple video game. The difference is that it's the patient's own brain waves, not his hands, that control how well the game is played.
If you focus more, the Pac-Man will be eating more of the pellets. When you get unfocused, you can see that he slows down and he stops eating the pellets less. So it is a really good game because it really keeps your attention focused. And as you're concentrating on him, that is making your brain concentrate.
The more sessions you have done, the faster the results will be. So if you do 3 times a week, in about a year, you have a complete and permanent change in your brain activity.
Danny's brain waves have changed, and so has his fearless, selfish quest for sensation.
Now his brain waves are in a normal range. So it's a normalization of his electrical brain activity that leads to, of course, a normal behavior.
And within 3 weeks, a total miracle had happened. He went from making, first of all, from being not interested in school to becoming interested, and from making F's to bringing home A's, perfect scores on tests and reports.
Biofeedback is a miracle to me. It's just the most amazing thing. For me, as long as I stay focused and I stay off drugs and I'm staying clean and sober, then those 30 sessions are going to stay with me for a long time, and so far it's worked. My concentration is already up. It's almost like taking a pill that cures you for the rest of your life.
I've been working on this too long. I don't have lyrics for it yet.
It's too early to claim a miracle fix for 20-year-old Danny's delinquency. But he recently attended his sister's wedding, the first family event he'd been to in years, played a song he'd written, and passed his exams with distinction.
When I go to the music school in the future and try to get a good degree and lead somewhere to a good career in the future.
There's been no systematic assessment of biofeedback. Even so, the Texas Correctional Center, hardly soft on crime or woolly on the causes of it, is giving the system a trial, and provisional results are encouraging for delinquent young men like Danny. But treatment is the exception. No one in Britain, for instance, is trying the Satterfield approach.
Not many children are able to get appropriate treatment. Many children go on without treatment to failure in school, failure with peers and in society, and usually they become the outcasts, and some of them become predatory and attack other people physically. Others just drop out from society, and they drop out from school, and they don't have very useful lives.
And it's among those, the persistent criminals whose lives have been wasted in jail, that we'll find more evidence of the link between brain abnormality and crime. Could earlier treatment have helped them escape the prison of their criminal minds?